that brings us then to the finale, which is not a great finale, if we're honest. It's a little bit easy for survivors, so I don't really find it the funnest to play, to be honest, but coming out the gate, not really a lot to do. Infected might spawn in these rooms. Survivors, though, can pretty much just run down here carefree. There'll only be a few zombies, most probably. If you're a boomer, it can be good to try and get this boom early, just to slow them down. But really, we all want to set up for the big spot at the top of the ladders in a minute. But there's a few spots here. This is an insta-kill spot. It's hard to set up, but if you can get a charger, if you are a charger and you come behind here, and you can charge a survivor down this hole, that's a free kill, insta-kill, done. Jockeys and smokers could pull them down here as well if you're a smoker. You could stand over here and smoke somebody down the hole, or even up on the level above and smoke somebody down so they're dangling there, which can help set up charger insta-kills. But that would have to be a pretty unaware survivor for that to work, because if you charge out here as a charger, you spawn here as a charger rather, any survivor that's here reviving somebody who's off this ledge, they would hear you and be able to move out of the way pretty quick. So yeah, it's not really a great spot. The best one to go for, you usually don't want to do any of that. You want to save your smoker and charger, especially for the big point, which is up here. So moving through here, you pretty much don't want to attack as special infected, because you want to try and set up the big play up here. So if you get smoker at the start of this level and you get charger, this is what you need to do. So smoker wants to sit here, and when the first person comes up, you need to be careful though, because what a smart player will do is try to bait you into coming up. So they'll do this, and they'll make it look like they're going to come out, but they'll still be on the ladder, and if you grab them here, they'll just be dangling on the edge here, and they won't actually be up on the roof. So you need to make sure they've come out onto the roof, then you smoke them, drag them over this way, so that they're pulled against this fence. So you can be just stood anywhere here, doesn't really matter as long as you're close, oh well, as long as you're on the fence. You can be stood here. Actually, it might not be so good if you're like stood here, because then you might just pull them onto this bit, but I think they'd get dragged to here anyway. So as long as you're pulling the survivor so that they're touching the fence, it's all good. And then what you need as the charger is to jump up on this rail and simply charge down this way, and it's insta-kill heaven all the way down there. You can even go the other way. If you come out here as the charger and the smoker stood here, as long as you angle it so you're off the roof, you'll take them down there for the insta-kill. If you charge them off here, you'll probably land down there and won't actually really do the insta-kill at all. You might do some damage, but they might actually not do full damage from falling on that vent thing and then onto the floor. But yeah, for the most part, we're looking to get the insta-kills off of the roof. Now, a couple of things can happen here. Either the smoker will get them against the fence and the charger will spawn and you'll get that insta-kill, or the smoker might go too early and then they'll pull the survivor against the hole and they'll just fall back down the hole once the smoker's dead or the tongue's broken. And thus it's kind of failed, because when the survivors know that when that tongue has been used and somebody's been grabbed, it can't be used again for a little while, so they're free to go up the hole and then not have to worry about that insta-kill to some degree. If that happens though, you can kind of improvise as the charger. If you stood here as the... Oh, fuck. Balls! I overjumped. Be back in a second. Actually, while I'm traveling on my way back, there is another little shortcut here you can take out here and jump over this. It's a little risque, but it can be done. Back up the ladder. Try not to fall off the roof this time. Now, what I was trying to say...
Find the radio and get a hold of that pilot.
If you're a survivor, if you're a charger rather, and you're here and a survivor pops out, let's say the smoker's just failed, survivor pops out, you can try and charge them off this way.
There's the landing pad.
Because if you go down there, if you land on this bit of roof, this lower bit of roof there, you'll get an in-cap, but you won't instantly kill them. It depends where you charge from. If you charge from all the way back here, you're probably not going to charge far enough to get them off the roof. But if you start your charge from maybe here, and you grab a survivor, there's a good chance you'll take them straight off the roof for the insta-kill. So yeah, you can improvise if the smoker does mess it up, but yeah, it's not easy. You can kind of hide behind this, try to come up behind them, boom, get it from there. You'll probably get the insta-kill. If you're the survivors, what you need to do, being careful of this, is A, you either need to try and bait out that smoker, because the infected will usually spawn straight away, so you'll be able to hear if there's a charger and a smoker up there. So you can try and bait them out, try to bait out that smoker to accidentally smoke you too early by coming out quite far. Of course, hunters and things could be here, boomers. They can all mess with this. Make it a little bit harder. But one thing you can do if you have a Molotov, although I don't have one, is you can try and aim it up the hole. You can try and aim for roughly where the smoker is.
Fire in the hole!
And then that'll hopefully burn them. And then they won't be able to, well, they'll get burned and die. So yeah, you can try that option. If that was a Molotov, that would spread all over this area. And that would burn any smoker that happened to be stood here. Or you can try and aim it for the other side and burn the charger. And if you hear them on fire, you'll hear the noise that they have. You'll know they're on fire. Then all you need to do is wait for them to die, and then you're going to be safe. So Molotovs throwing out of there is often the way to deal with this insta-kill. But it could go either way. It can be a risky one. Jockeys as well can be good up here. If you jockey somebody, jockey them off this edge, make them hit this lower bit of ground, you'll do a lot of damage. You can jockey them back down the hole as well. That'll do a bit of damage. You could even jockey them out off of these. This little area will leave you hanging, so you could jockey them down there. There's a few options, but jockeys can be useful. If the charger messes it up, if you don't have a charger or your charger dies for some reason and you're the smoker over here, or you get a smoker a little bit late, you can improvise. And if you get a smoke from here, if you wait till somebody shows their face up here, grab them, they'll fall down to here, which is a big old drop, and you might get an in-cap or just a lot of damage. But yeah, that's a good way to go. I don't think there's anything else really with that point. It's mostly about going for that charger smoker insta-kill, which is what is kind of expected of you. So if you get a charger at the very start of the level, people will be expecting you to try for this insta-kill. And you should. Just go for it. If you fuck it up, doesn't matter. At least you tried. You're not going to get better at it if you don't learn. Another insta-kill with a charger is actually on this ramp. If you come on this ramp and you grab somebody from anywhere about maybe like here, if you get the charge, start the charge here, grab a survivor, charge down here, you will go off the roof and get that insta-kill. But you do have to be a fair way along that ramp, maybe even farther along. If you try to charge them from like back here, you'll probably stop, the charge will stop before you get to the edge of the building. So yeah, you need to start the charge from maybe like here or here, so that you get the full length of it, which should be enough to take you off the building for the insta-kill. Not an easy one to get, because survivors are usually aware of it. It's usually a good one to go for at the end of the round. If the survivors have made it and the helicopters come in, come up behind them, run along behind them as much as possible, and then get that charge, and you'll take them off the edge and kill one right at the end, which is always pleasant, shall we say, as infected. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for insta-kills in this area. Of course, there's spots all over the place where you can get insta-kills on this map. The whole thing is basically an insta-kill heaven, especially if you're a tank. Coming through as the survivors. Yeah, well, being as survivors, you need to be aware of all those things, so good to just avoid that ramp as much as possible. Just take these stairs. They do the same job, and they're a lot safer. And you won't... Well, actually, you could get insta-killed, I suppose. Could you? Could you? I don't think you could, actually. If you get charged up here... No, you're just going to hit this. Oh, wait, that's invisible. See? Still learning things. Hundreds of hours of campaign, I've learned that this bit of wall is invisible and I can just walk through it. So I guess that wouldn't save you from a charge. What about this one? This one would, though. Okay. This one is in the way. Good to know, eh? Good to know. Yeah, like I say, there's loads of charger insta-kill spots everywhere. If somebody stands, like, up on one of these, you might be able to insta-kill them off if you charge them. There's many creative ways to kill people in Left 4 Dead. But anyway, survivors. This is honestly, the reason I don't like this finale so much is because it's pretty easy to survive for survivors. All you need to do is spread out. One person sits here. One person sits over here. Anywhere over here, or maybe on this side so they can't spawn there. Then one person sits over here. And then another person sits somewhere over this side. There can be a little spot up on top of this vent thing, which can be difficult for infected to get you. You can jump over onto here. You can just sit up here. There are even some cheekier spots, like on the edge of this. These I don't use because I don't like them. They're a little bit silly. You can sit on this edge, and then basically nothing can get you. The only way you're going down is if a smoker or jockey takes you down or grabs you down. But otherwise, you can just sit up here and shoot zombies. The zombies struggle to find you on this bit as well, so they're pretty easy to avoid. So yeah, it's a bit of a cheap spot. And that's the trouble with this finale. You could sit up here, though. There's other cheeky places that people like to sit. Like on the front of this barbed wire somewhere, on these lights. You can sit on these lights, so you can't be grabbed from here. And then Zombies won't be able to get you. All you need to worry about is smokers and jockeys grabbing you. So there's silly little cheeky places like that. I don't really like using them because they feel a bit cheap to me. I think there's a few other ones as well, but for the most part, you don't even need to use those, to be honest. Just stand in the 4 areas, one here, one there, one there, one there, or on top of there, and then you're good. That's it. One area to watch out for is these pipes. Be careful of these pipes. This is a good smoker insta-kill spot, or not insta-kill, but insta-in-cap, I should say. Smoker, spawn here, grab somebody who runs across these pipes, pull them down to here. That'll do enough full damage to possibly in-cap them, or just do a lot of damage, depends on their health. So that's a good spot. You be very careful if you run across those pipes. Honestly, it's one of those situations where you're just better off, instead of running across the pipes, just come here. Just go up here. That's much safer than going across those pipes and maybe getting insta-killed. Infected can spawn back here. This can be a cheeky insta-kill, cheeky spawn spot, although it is an insta-kill spot as well, actually. Although it just fell down from there. I don't know if they patched it. I don't know why they would. If you can get a smoker to stand up on here and to drag somebody to this point, get a charger to hang out here and spawn. I guess it's just blocked for survivors. Yeah, get a charger to hide back here, wait for that smoker to drag somebody to here, and then charge this way. Boom, that's an insta-kill all the way down there. You'll go on top of these vents and stuff and they'll go off the roof. So that's another insta-kill spot. It's a pretty cheeky one that I haven't seen used very often, but it does work if you can nail it. Another charger insta-kill spot is right here. If you have to make sure you're far enough forward. If a survivor is running on these pipes, come up behind them as the charger, charge this way, and then you'll run down here and off the building you will go with your trusty survivor. So yeah, that is a good one as well. That's a good insta-kill. You do have to be careful though of not charging too early. If you charge from like back here, then your charge is probably going to end right at the end of the wall and you won't actually get the insta-kill. So you need to make sure you're pretty close to the pipes before you actually hit the charge, otherwise you'll fall short. Not a lot else to speak of on this little area. Nothing really over here. You've got all the Molotovs and stuff. These are of course essential for the tank. Save those for the tank. The tanks are pretty easy to deal with on this map because usually no horde comes with them. You need a boomer to really have any hope with the tank on this map. It is pretty tough. If you are the tank, you're usually just best off sitting back here and trying to throw rocks. You can sit back here and just angle some rocks over to wherever the survivors are over there until something happens. You need someone on your team to get a good boom. But like I say, excuse me, like I say, if survivors spread out, it's very difficult to get a boom on more than one person, so usually that isn't even that effective. This is another reason why I just say it's not a great map. It's hard for the infected, it's hard for the tank, and it's just really easy for the survivors overall to make it to the end. And that's not a fun finale to me. I like the finales where there's a good chance everyone's going to die, like the Dead Center finale or the Parish finale with the bridge. Those ones are a lot more exciting because it's a lot harder to make it. This one is very easy for everybody, all 4 survivors, to get on the helicopter. Unless you get those insta-kills. If you're a tank, if you're survivors and a tank's coming, be very careful about being up high on these spots. If you get hit here, there's a good chance you're going over this edge and you're going down there somewhere, over here, over there somewhere. You're going off the building, basically. If you stand here, you're probably going down there. If you stand over here, you're probably going down there or over there. So if a tank comes, if a tank starts to climb up to this bit, just get down from it. Just jump down, because you're a lot safer down on this level. And there's lots of room to move. You can run over here, shoot the tank and run away, keep moving, run away. Just be aware of being up high, up here as well. If you get hit by a tank here in this direction or this direction, you're going bye-byes. So be very careful of that. That's the only hope the tank really has of getting the kills on you. Unless the survivors are covered in boom, or they're just really beaten up, or they're playing badly. You can try and, if you're a survivor, try and bait the tank out here somewhere, and then have another friendly survivor get the old minigun. You can gun him down pretty well with that. And if you're the tank, of course, be aware of that, be careful of that, try not to stand in front of that. Be aware of all the Molotovs and these cans and gas cans, they can light on fire and things. Because of course, if you get lit on fire on this part of the map, you're pretty much done for. You have to charge in then, and you're probably just going to get shot to shit. So, yeah, not a lot to do if you're the tank. Special infected, Again, not a lot of great places to spawn. It's difficult. If someone's sat up here, or if a few survivors are sat up here, the only spawn you really have is on these stairs, and you got to try and get around. It's just really not great. You can get behind that little building, as I say, to get the spawns. You got the smoker spawn down there. But yeah, there's really not a lot to do. There's other than the insta kills at the start and the occasional slightly lucky insta kills around. There isn't a lot you can do as infected, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's most of this finale, really. If you're survivors, just spread out. It's easy. If you're infected, you really got to try to come together and work together to make plays. What I like to try and do, if there's a survivor, if they're going to the helicopters, I'll try and get, if I get a smoker, I'll try and pull one down here somewhere so that they have to run all the way back round to get back up to the helicopter, which can usually buy time for other special infected to do stuff. But usually it's pretty tough to stop them if they get to this point and they're all healthy. You'll get the tank as well eventually, but usually the survivors will be gone. Just about really, boomers are really the essential part of this map because hordes only come every so often. You need those boomers to make up for when the hordes aren't there. Otherwise, it's just super easy for the survivors to sit in the high up places. But like I say, everyone spreads out. You can rarely boom more than one person. So if you can get an opportunity to boom on 2 or more people, then you should go for it. But I think that is about it for this map. Unfortunately, there isn't that much interesting stuff to say other than just spread out as survivors and look for the insta-kill and big damage spots like these drops and stuff as infected. They're your best hope. But any good player will probably keep an eye on these pipes and probably won't use these pipes because they know they'll get dragged down and grabbed. And I think that is the most of it for this campaign. If you... Oh, grenade launcher, random. If you feel I missed anything, if you're an experienced player as well, drop it in the comments. Let us know. I'll be happy to learn it as well. Like I say, I'm sure there's things I don't know, as I've been learning a couple of things this whole run. So, you know, there's always stuff to learn. I think that's it. I always feel like there's more to say. I feel like I'm missing something. I was just trying to kind of do these videos as just like a casual, easy video of me just playing and showing you all this stuff and just turning the mic on, because normally my videos are quite heavily edited, obviously, if you've seen any of my other stuff. So this feels a little bit of an uncomfortable video for me to do, to not be heavily editing. So let me know what you think. Let me know if it's good, if it's useful. If it is, I can do all the other campaigns, I guess, potentially. But I'll probably just do the more popular ones, if anything. We'll see how this goes. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I will see you not in the future, because I am dead.